Hi everyone, welcome to Play Hooky with me. My name is Roz, and today I want to share with you how to make this quick and easy cowl using the cross stitch. I am so excited to share this with you guys because this is a stitch that is so simple and it's done with your basic single crochet but with a twist. Along with that, this is a cowl that is so fast, so fun, and no counting involved, just a relaxing project that you'll have finished within the hour. As always, there are timestamps below so you can jump straight to your point of interest. So yeah, you know the drill. Let's go ahead and play some hooky. To get started, let's talk a little bit about the hook size, yarn, and measurements for the cowl. I use Charisma by Loops and Threads. This is a really soft, bulky yarn. It's a number 5 bulky, and the required hook size is an 8mm, and I did actually use an 8mm for it, and it worked perfectly fine for it. The measurements for this cowl was 28 inches in circumference, with the height of it at about 13 inches. To reach the 13 inches, I used 2 skeins of yarn, and each one of these is, let's see here, 109 yards, 100 grams. And you could even just use 1 skein if you want. You don't need to use 2, but I wanted my cowl to be quite high because I also wanted to use it as a kind of like a little hoodie in case it got kind of windy or chilly. If you decide to use just 1 skein of yarn, your cowl will come out to about 6.5 inches. One thing to keep in mind with the crochet cross stitch is that it is not reversible, which means you must work in the rounds to get that cross stitch effect. So this is an ideal stitch for infinity scarves, beanies, hats, those kind of projects. To get started with the crochet cross stitch, we're going to be working with a foundation chain to make this particular cowl and get it to the 28-inch circumference that I used. I had to do 65 chains. Now, if you're using a different yarn or hook, it may take you longer to get to that point or shorter. So just keep a tape measure close to hand and just keep measuring as you're making your chains. Go ahead now and chain up to your 28 inches. I'm only going to go up to about 20 here for the tutorial. One thing I like to do when I'm working in the round like this and I need to do a circle, I like to do this little trick where I take the beginning and I put it on my hook. Scooch it down so it's out of the way. I usually do about 10 chains before I do this, and then I put my yarn back on the hook, and this will help the chain from twisting, and it will also help you when you get ready to slip stitch it together to know where you want to slip stitch it, and it's a really good time saver. Once you have your desired stitch count, go ahead and slip stitch to connect your ring here. Go ahead and chain 1, and now we're ready to start working on our cross stitch. This is the only time we're going to be chaining up 1. From now on, we're going to be working in the rounds, continuously working in the rounds. No counting involved with this. If you're working with this pattern, 1 skein will get you up to about 6.5 inches, or 2 skeins will get you up to 13. So to begin your cross stitch, you're going to be doing a single crochet, but the twist with this is instead of yarning over, we're going to be yarning under. And let me show you what I mean. Working into that very first stitch, you're going to insert your hook. Instead of yarning over, yarn under. Pull through. Then yarn over as you normally would and pull through. So the key with this is just to get into the habit of yarning under, and at first it will feel a little bit awkward. You'll feel like you're doing something wrong, but once you get the hang of it, it feels very natural, very normal. So I'm just going to keep doing this, and I'm going to sound very repetitive, but I just want it to sink in. You're not going to be able to see the cross stitch very well with this first round, but don't worry about that. It'll get very visible once you start working in the second round and up. Insert your hook, yarn under, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Insert your hook, yarn under, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Insert, yarn under, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Once you've come to the end of the round, you're simply going to continue on. You're not going to slip stitch into this end here or the beginning of round 1. You're just going to continue on with what you're doing. So here we go. We're going to insert into both of these loops here, yarn under, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and then just keep going. And you're just going to do this around and around. And I'm sure you can feel it too. It's starting to feel very natural to do the yarning under for that very first movement there. And now you can start to see your little crisscross happening. Once you're getting close to the end, since we're not doing any kind of counting, and we're using our skeins of yarn to measure, you're going to have to pick a time to stop making your stitches. I would suggest once you see that you have about 5 or 6 inches left, that's when I would stop making the stitches and use that remainder to weave in the end to keep it secure and to finish off. I've gone ahead and snipped it here for the sake of the video, but let's just pretend this is how much I had left over. It's a little bit more than 6 inches, but you get the idea. So at this point, I would just go ahead and make a little knot here. Just pull the yarn through. And you can kind of hide that within the stitches here as you start weaving in your tail. And I just use the crochet hook to do that. I just weave back and forth through each stitch. And that's all there is to it. This makes up very quickly. It's soft and squishy. I think you're really going to like this cowl. If you like this stitch and you want to try another simple stitch, I think the V stitch would be another great stitch for a cowl like this that you could just keep doing round after round after round. So I'm going to leave some end cards here so you can take a look at those. As always, thanks for playing hooky with me, and I look forward to seeing you next time.